Hey everyone, I am Kate and welcome back to Kate's Kitchen. So I had this idea just kind of pop in my mind one day, and then I really started to crave it and wonder like how it would taste. I'm getting to it, right? So it was to have a sweet potato or a yam fried up to eat it with my eggs, which my eggs, if you don't know me by now, I'm really particular about them. They're just like a really over hard egg with no brown. But anyway, so what we're gonna do today is start cooking in this skillet here. And I'm gonna start it on high just to get it ready and prepped. It will eventually be doused in butter, and then, well, I'll clean it first, and then I'm going to douse it in butter and cook the yam. So to get started, I am heating up my cast iron skillet, and I don't know, probably a possible fire under there the way we cook things around here. So we'll just turn on the fan now. But you know, I'm just heating this up, getting it ready to put a ton of butter in. Now putting it down to a 5. But just gonna get the pan ready. So I'm just gonna let this continue to heat up a little bit. And you know, I'm actually gonna turn it down to about a 4 or 3 because I do still need to cut the potato. So with this, yes, I did no planning for the norm into the video, guys. So forgive all of my trying to make this work along the way. I probably need to invest in a camera at some point in my life. There we go. Now, I obviously rinsed off the sweet potato. I am going to peel it as well. So I did already make this one other time. And I think that time, maybe I've made it twice. I do know at one point I just mixed it with a regular potato as well, and that was very good. And I probably wouldn't mind it with the peels, but I don't know. I think I just want to have more consistent texture, and the peels are gonna kind of throw that off. All right, another quick rinse. And I don't know, I don't like some of these black spots. I'm so picky. Okay. So the real reason I peel the sweet potato is because I don't trust it. No, I'm just kidding. Like, I have to see what's underneath. Talk about trust issues, right? All right, so just gonna dice this guy. And remember, I never claim to be a professional at all. We know this. We've seen my videos or not. I'm mainly here for you to laugh at and give you just some maybe fun food ideas to try for yourself that, again, I think, in my opinion, are pretty simple. And this would definitely be, in my opinion, like a meal worth sharing. It's quite a bit of sweet potato, right? And before I dice this one up, I want to add some butter over here. So it's getting ready, messy. And we're gonna just throw some butter. And again, it's on a 3. I am gonna turn it up to about a 5 now. Also, to be honest, I don't really know the difference between like a sweet potato or a yam. So, yeah. Okay, like literally have the phone in my mouth. I need a camera crew, guys. All right. So the next thing we're gonna do here is get as many of these mixed in with that butter. And I'm actually going to add even more butter. Some more butter. You know, and I had no idea how well this sweet potato was gonna fry up. Like, it actually fried up pretty well and quickly, because I was like, oh my gosh, those things are so hard, it's gonna take them forever to fry, but it really didn't. So I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic salt. And another idea that I am remembering now. I once also cooked, like I sauteed some onions first and then added in the sweet potatoes. And if I were really prepared to have done this today, I would have done this better. So again, guys, thanks for bearing with me. And then also some salt and pepper. And then mixing that around. And then we are going to put a lid over them and just let them cook for a while and get soft. And in the meantime, we're gonna start working on my eggs that take 5 years to cook. Like literally everyone, mainly men, complain about me and my eggs. So whatever. So to make my eggs, very simple. I do start the pan out on high for just a moment, okay? And one thing you do not let happen when you're making my eggs is let the butter get brown, and you do not let the eggs get brown. And yeah, pretty much, I mean, we cook at home a lot, so all the burners will probably kind of tend to smoke because I'm messy when I cook and don't always clean stuff up under there. Anyway. So now that that butter is starting to melt, you want it to really coat the whole pan. And I know I have a whole video already on my eggs, right? But I'm gonna just kill some time and share it with you again, because they really are like the best eggs. And I have seen people asking like, oh, how do people cook these super great round eggs? And I'm just very proud of my eggs. So no, this isn't the smartest idea, because you never really want to scratch your pans. Basically, just don't do what I do when cooking. So like the butter is melting. I'm gonna actually take it off of the burner, which I still have on high, and just turn that burner down to a 3. Again, we've got our potatoes going here. Let's try that. And I'm just gonna like take out my house. Well, otherwise, if I don't be careful, we're not gonna talk about the party that's sitting there. Okay. So they all look really yummy. And I would say try to keep them flat so that they cook, you know, pretty evenly. So what I'm gonna do with this pan, again, you want it fully coated with butter. And no, not margarine butter. Like, it has to be real butter. But I mean, do what works for you and makes you happy. Butter makes me happy. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna crack some eggs. Sometimes if the pan is super hot, it will actually crack the eggs while it's not on the burner, just because the pan has that heat still. Sizzling away over there. All right, now with my eggs, I have a very dedicated spatula, which is dirty and I have to clean it. So in my opinion, the best part of the eggs is probably what everybody deems the worst, the yolk. It is the best in my opinion because it is just so incredibly full of flavor. So what I always do my best to do is get that yolk like just out of it. There we go. And spread as far as possible with the eggs. And sometimes it's stubborn and it does not want to leave its home. But I do try to get as much of that yolk kind of spread around as possible. Okay, now we are going to salt and pepper. And again, a low heat. The trick to these eggs is a low heat. Let's check on these sweet potatoes, yams, whatever. So the one thing I also don't like when I'm cooking my potatoes, you definitely want to see them get brown, right? And that's what's happening. We just don't want that to turn too much darker. So that's for me a signal that like, hey, we're on the right track. But at this point it becomes, ooh, look how nice that cut. Yes. It does become a matter of really keeping an eye on it now or turning down the heat. So depends on how risky of a cook you are. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, but as you can see, so I looked at the time when I started the potatoes and it was roughly 3:12 and it's 3:19 now. So not too bad. Again, I'm at the point where I'm going to turn down the heat to about a 3.5 because now I just want them to brown. But I also know I'm going to need to kick that heat back up in a minute and really be attentive to like stirring them to get them to the crisp that I need them to be at. But check out these eggs. Look at how incredibly beautiful and round. Look, I'm just so proud. And then they're going to be just incredibly flavorful because we've got that yolk mostly spread around there. And I'm going to flip them here in a minute. Let's see how that goes. But one thing I do also like to do is sometimes just kind of hold the pan at an angle and kind of lift the eggs up a bit and let some of the egg get under and cook. I don't know if that makes sense. I really adore the flat range stoves, like just that don't have this old school style cooktop. So when I know my eggs are almost done is when I would normally on the potatoes, sweet potatoes, whatever, kick up the heat quite a bit. So like a 7. This for me just becomes like major multitasking, right? Because I don't burn my eggs. But we are going to flip them now. So to do that, I kind of scrunch them up, and I really don't know. Sometimes it doesn't work, and that's okay, like this time. But a lot of times it just kind of folds itself under, and you can just unfold it. And then, so it was really pretty and beautiful, and I was just so proud of you moments ago. But that flip is really everything. And it really just wasn't ready to be flipped. And that's okay. Because the cool thing is, if you just add some cheese on top, you're going to glue it back together. And I'm kind of sad that didn't work out as much as I was hoping it would. But it's okay. I still fully trust my capabilities, even though they weren't fully shared with you right there. So now we could see they're getting that darker, more like charred. I don't want to say burnt. And they're definitely soft, but this is where I want them crispy. And so maybe even adding in a little more butter. And again, on the higher heat, so definitely just need to be attentive. And I do tend to leave the lid off once I start to crisp them, because I feel like leaving the lid on it only continues to get them mushy like so. And while yes, the cheese would be a great fix for these eggs, I just don't think I want to have cheese with well, this has been a fun video, but it, you know, yeah, I'm just gonna be real. This has been a crap video, okay? And part of it is that like this is just such a smaller kitchen than I'm used to. I don't really have a way to set up stuff in here to record. I'm really just doing my best to try and share, you know, this fun idea with the sweet potatoes to the best of my ability. And so I'm just asking for some grace. I'm just turning these down. I'm just kind of over this situation right now. But definitely still have to, and I'm turning it off, not down, but definitely have to just continue to keep an eye on them and stir them unless you remove them from the heat, obviously. And yeah, I dropped the phone in the egg, so that's awesome. Anyway, my point was that I'm not going to add cheese to this because I don't think it's going to taste very good. But I am going to flip it over and cook whatever germs were on my phone off the eggs, I guess. Goodness. Okay. And again, you've just got to keep an eye on these. And I'm just trying to get them a certain level of crispy. But I think I'm also at this point going to remove them. Yeah, that's why there was a plug almost near the burner, is because I was using the toaster to put my phone inside of so I could record. So these really aren't as crisp as I wanted them to be. I know they will continue to crisp. But the pan's so hot, you just gotta keep them moving. And back to the eggs. I mean, it still looks pretty good, in my opinion. And again, another option, adding some onions, or what I had did previously was caramelize the onions first, then added the sweet potatoes, and then also adding just a regular potato in. I've done that one, and that one was really good too. The sweet potato and a regular potato. All right, and then with the eggs, I always just tend to cut the thickest part, and as long as I don't see any sort of, you know, uncooked white stuff, then we're good. Uncooked egg whites, I guess, rather. Let's plate it up. All right, so again, I know the video is just a hot mess. A hot mess. Like, it's okay. Point is, one was created, right? It's all about just doing it, I guess. And you're not gonna get better unless you start somewhere, and I had to start somewhere again. But let's try this, right? So, sweet potato, eggs. I think it's pretty yummy. Give it a go, cook it. Let me know what you think of it. I'd be curious. Also, definitely, if you do, saute the onions. I used a yellow onion, I think, and that would be a good option in my opinion versus the other one. So saute a yellow onion and maybe add another potato, regular potato. So, all right, everyone, thank you so much for your time and for watching the crazy video. I hope, if anything, you get some laughs out of it. Have a good one, everyone, and thank you so much for your time.